world around us has changed more dramatically than almost any other time in human history. Humans now live in cities of millions, communicate instantly across the planet, and create technologies that would have seemed impossible to our distant ancestors. Yet beneath this modern world is a human mind shaped by a much older past. The phrase Stone Age brain does not mean that humans today have the exact same brain as people who lived thousands of years ago. Instead, it refers to the idea that some abilities and tendencies in the human mind developed through a long evolutionary history that began in environments very different from our own. So why do certain patterns of human behavior still appear today? Why do we search for patterns, seek social connections, respond strongly to threats, and look for rewards? To explore these questions, we need to understand the environments that shaped our species, and how those ancient influences interact with modern life. The Stone Age was not one single way of life. It covered a vast period of human history, including many different groups living across changing landscapes and adapting to different conditions. Some lived through periods of dramatic climate change. Others inhabited environments ranging from grasslands and forests to coastal regions. Archaeological evidence shows that early humans were not successful because of one single advantage. Their survival depended on a combination of abilities, making tools, learning from experience, cooperating with others, and responding to unfamiliar challenges. The human story is not simply a story of strength. It is a story of flexibility. For early human communities, the environment could be unpredictable. Food availability changed with seasons. Weather conditions could affect movement and resources. Animals, landscapes, and dangers were constantly changing. In such environments, information mattered. Understanding surroundings, remembering useful knowledge, and learning from others could improve a group's chances of responding to challenges. Researchers studying human evolution have explored how these pressures may have contributed to abilities such as problem-solving, social learning, and communication. These abilities did not disappear when humans created cities and technology. Instead, they became part of a species capable of adapting to completely new environments. One example researchers study is the human tendency to notice possible threats. In the past, paying attention to potential danger could have been important for survival. A sudden sound, an unfamiliar movement, or a change in surroundings might require a quick response. Modern humans still have systems in the brain that help us respond to threats and uncertainty. However, this does not mean every modern fear or reaction comes directly from prehistoric life. Human behavior is influenced by many factors, including personal experience, culture, environment, and learning. Evolutionary perspectives provide one way of understanding why certain tendencies may exist, but they are part of a much larger picture. Another major part of human history is cooperation. Humans have long depended on relationships with others. Archaeological discoveries provide evidence that ancient human groups shared knowledge, created tools that required skill and planning, and sometimes supported members of their communities who could not easily survive alone. These findings challenge an outdated image of ancient humans as simple beings focused only on immediate survival. They were capable learners and problem solvers. They created ways to work together in environments that demanded cooperation. Although ancient societies varied greatly, social connection appears to have been an important part of human history. But ancient humans were not only focused on finding food and avoiding danger. They also created objects, traditions, and forms of expression that reveal a deeper side of human behavior. Archaeological evidence from different periods shows examples of personal decoration, artistic objects, and symbolic activities. Researchers continue to study what these discoveries reveal about ancient human thought and culture. While we cannot know exactly what individuals thousands of years ago were thinking, these findings suggest that humans have long been capable of creativity, communication, and shared meaning. The human story is not only about surviving the environment, it is also about creating a world of ideas. This brings us to a fascinating question. If humans developed abilities in ancient environments, what happens when those abilities exist in a completely different world? Modern life has introduced challenges our ancestors never faced. People today interact with digital technology, constant information, and complex social systems. Some researchers explore how certain ancient tendencies may interact with these modern environments. For example, humans are naturally interested in information, But today we live in a world where information is available almost instantly. Humans value social connection, but technology has created new ways to communicate. Humans respond to rewards, but modern environments can provide opportunities for constant stimulation. These examples do not mean modern problems have simple prehistoric explanations. Human behavior is too complex to be reduced to one cause. Our biology influences us, but culture, education, technology, and personal choices also shape who we become. So how do researchers learn about a human past that reaches back thousands and even millions of years? They build knowledge from many forms of evidence. Archaeologists study tools, settlements, and objects left behind by ancient communities. Researchers examine fossils to understand physical changes across human evolution. Anthropologists and behavioral scientists study human societies, learning and cooperation. Each piece of evidence provides part of the larger story. Understanding human history is not about finding one simple answer. It is about combining discoveries and interpretations to create a more accurate picture of how humans became who we are. The Stone Age may seem like a distant chapter, but it is part of every human story. The abilities that helped our ancestors navigate uncertain environments also contributed to the species that built civilizations, developed science, and explored beyond Earth. But humans are not trapped by their past. The same minds shaped by ancient challenges are also capable of imagination, creativity, and change. Our history influences us, but it does not control us. Perhaps the most remarkable fact about the human brain is not that it carries traces of the Stone Age. It is that this ancient foundation became capable of creating a future that our ancestors could never have imagined. Understanding where we came from helps us understand what makes us human. A species connected to the past, constantly learning in the present, and still shaping what comes next.